Have y'all heard on this day in 1952, Mr. Potato Head became the first toy ever advertised on television, and he did it without even having legs. Coming at you. Well, howdy there, friends. On April 30th, 1952, the humble Mr. Potato Head, I like to call him Tater Head, made television history as the first toy ever advertised directly to kids on TV. Now, what most folks don't know is that the original Mr. Tater Head, Potato Head, whatever, didn't even come with a tater body. No, you had to supply your own real tater, potato, whatever. Can you imagine giving your youngins a pointy plastic mustache and telling them to stab it into their dinner? The toy made over $4 million in its first year alone. Proof that Americans have always loved playing with their food. The inventor, George Lerner, got the idea watching his nieces and his nephews decorate taters, potatoes, with household items. Turns out sometimes the best ideas come from watching kids make a mess in the kitchen. Hey, y'all know what today is? It's National Raisin Day. Yeah, now, before you roll your eyes faster than a tumbleweed in a tornado, let me tell you how Southern cooks have transformed these wrinkly little grapes into culinary gold. Down south, we don't just put raisins in cookies, we soak them in bourbon for our famous bread pudding. The tradition started in New Orleans, where chefs never met a food they couldn't improve with a little spirits. My grandmama, well, her secret to her blue ribbon raisin pie, soak those raisins in sweet tea overnight. She won the Jefferson County Fair Bake-Off 3 years running, and the judge was allergic to raisins. That's Southern cooking magic, y'all. Speaking of food, y'all, have you heard about the time Jesus cooked breakfast for his disciples? After his resurrection in John chapter 21, the disciples had been fishing all night without catching a dad-burned thing. Sounds like my Uncle Earl's typical fishing trip. Jesus called from the shore telling them to cast your nets on the right side of the boat. Suddenly, they caught so many fish they couldn't haul them in. When they got to shore, Jesus had a charcoal fire going with fish and bread cooking for breakfast. Now, that's what I call Southern hospitality. Miracle fishing advice and breakfast. Now, if that happened today, I reckon Jesus would have thrown in some grits, too. Hey, y'all, tomorrow is May the 1st, and towns across the South are gearing up for May Day celebrations. In Savannah, Georgia, they're hosting their annual Maypole dance, where last year the ribbons got so tangled that 3 couples ended up engaged by accident. My cousin Darlene is organizing her town's May Day picnic. She says it's the only time of year when the ants actually bring food to the picnic. Talk about Southern manners. And if you're heading to the Huntsville May Day Festival, watch out for their famous spring pollen. Last year it was so thick, a yellow lab went missing for 3 hours. Turns out he was just covered in pollen, and everybody thought he was a golden retriever. That's all for today's Have Y'all Heard, because now y'all have. Leave a comment if you're smart or smiling or hungry. Until next time, later, taters.